Prepare for launch in 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Bryan.
And I'm Monte.
And we just picked up our set of every model from Wave 3 for X-Wing from our local gaming store, Cardboard Arcade, and I want to do a little quick unboxing video for you guys. First one here is the TIE Bomber, which has a lot of ridiculous small detail all over the panels. And the first thing that strikes me, most of my qualifications and lore of Star Wars comes from the old X-Wing Space Simulator games, and it feels like this model has more blue into the coloring than I recall, but c'est la vie. The other thing I notice is I think I've been spoiled by a lot of the do-it-yourself videos online where you paint the ion engines that bright blue, make it pop a little bit more. This especially seems like it needs that because it has two of the bigger thrusters behind it.
Well, it's going to be so doable on this one because you have just such a small space. Even you could do it with a small brush and just go through it. But yeah, definitely the blueness I noticed. But it's still a very detailed and very incredible model, and it's kind of nice that they can actually pull something like this out. I don't know if you can get the inside paneling, the circuitry. A lot of time and effort went into this modeling, and that's it shows. So,
and we can just cut and paste that for every single model we take out, right?
Pretty much.
Well, that's what editing is for. Real quick, I think we've seen online, we've got 4 different pilots, and I don't remember at the moment, but let's turn these around. We've got our 7 points, a 6 point, I'm sorry, a 7 skill, 6 skill, 4 skill, and a 2 skill, 2 generics. But they come in really cheap, and that's the first thing you notice because you're paying. Looks like you can load a bunch of stuff on them, but they're cheap weapons delivery platforms.
Didn't you say 16 was about the cost of Hellrunner?
Thereabouts, I think so.
So the cheapest TIE Bomber is worth the cost of one of the high-end TIE Fighter pilots.
Well, I'm saying is like they're swarm capable at this point, so you're not going to lose your 8 TIE swarm. You might go to a 6 or a 7. Okay. But you can still feel the bomber without losing that mentality. So
the base stats we've got are 2 attack, 2 evade, 6 hull, and 0 shields. This thing's awfully tanky.
It seems like somebody's trying to balance the Y-Wing out at this point, because you've got about almost as many hit points, but for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So you still can get critted, and that always hurts.
I mean, it feels nice, though, to have something with the TIE name on it that you're actually able to hit more reliably.
Well, that's because you're a Rebel player, so.
Rebel.
All right.
With a cause, by the way.
And that would be?
I didn't say that we had figured that part out. We want a cause.
There is a cause.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pointed that there is a cause, so you're not without a cause.
It's more of a mission statement.
Oh.
So anyway, let's take a look at... Shut up. Or contribute differently. There we go.
Oh, fair enough.
Improv. You always have to do it positively. Yes, and.
Yes, and I think this is the one that everyone's going to want to get their hold on is the advanced proton torpedoes. And
let's just skip those advanced pilots and move on to the torpedoes, shall we?
I had things in front of me, and I was moving on in a productive manner. So yes, and. I think these are going to be what make the deck, because these other things have happened beforehand.
Okay, so what did the advanced proton torpedoes do, Monty? Because I can't read it at the same time you do.
What was the quote? Boom, boom, bang, bang. That's operational?
Fair. Go ahead and read it out.
Okay. So, attack target lock. Spend your target lock and discard this card to perform the attack. You may change up to 3 of your blank results to focus results. So I think that's going to come in when you can manage to stack a target lock and a focus. It's going to be huge alpha strike.
This requires a 2-turn setup. Because you have to get that target lock first, and then on the next turn you must take that focus to make the most out of it. There's no auto crits here like on the original Proton.
You know, what that could be, though, is that could be just another excuse to use push the limit, though. Because that could give you a 1-turn setup.
Push the limit on a bomber, you say?
Well, if you think of this as disposable, you put the torpedoes on it, you push the limit. Okay, so you got your focus and your target lock at the same turn.
That's fair.
Okay.
I can see that.
The other problem is I think the range is, really short, 1. So you have to... It's very kamikaze, I suspect.
And you have to be looking the right direction.
I think barrel roll will help with that a lot. because I think you can move left and right enough to actually see if you can get that lined up.
Oh, hey, look at those other things on the pilot cards we didn't talk about.
Oh, yeah. See how we worked it into conversation? So, word that means casually?
Yeah, of course.
Like casually?
So each bomber can do focus, target lock, as well as the barrel roll. So this is the first TIE vehicle that we've got that is incapable of doing an evade. So there's no backup for these guys, just very little safety net. Let's see, this pilot in particular, help me out here.
Okay, so this is Captain Jonas. When another friendly ship at range 1 attacks with a secondary weapon, it may reroll up to 2 attack dice. So that is the TIE bomber equivalent of Howl Runner. So it's kind of interesting to see maybe if we get him paired up with someone with like a heavy laser cannon to see if that escort really pays off, but I don't know if it's worth 22 points.
Have him pairing up with the fire spray.
Yeah, because we saw that 2 fire spray build the other day go all the way to Gen Con finals, but with the heavy laser cannons. But Howl Runner didn't really do anything for that, but that would give them a chance to make those heavy laser cannons really pop.
True.
And
I dig it. 22 points is actually kind of high on the Imperial side, though.
yeah, but that's going to be a build that has high point ships anyway. It's going to be a 3-ship build, not a swarm.
That's true. It's going to be interesting to see the Imperials have to stoop to the Rebel level of taking high-price ships that aren't large bases.
Well, I think it's going to happen with the other ships too. We'll get to that in a minute, but I still think that there's going to be the viability of the swarm.
Why don't you hold that one up?
I'm going to hold this one up.
Maybe take your hand away so that it's not
Okay.
all shadowed and stuff.
And maybe hold on to it.
I know you're being clever.
No, I'm not actually being clever. I'm trying
And
to be
upside
clever.
down. Okay, sooner or later we'll get this right. So we've got Major Reimer here, who, when attacking with a secondary weapon, you may increase or decrease the weapon range by 1 to a limit of range 1 to 3. So this guy can use advanced torpedoes at range 2. I don't know why you'd ever want to... Well, okay, you can decrease something like the original torpedoes or range 2 to 3, so he could use them at point-blank range.
I think this is a flexibility card. This is your guaranteed weapons delivery. So if you came in and you are just barely in range of that, you have to kill Falcon, you can make sure you can deliver that weapon next turn.
It's a shame that they don't have the option for an ion cannon turret like the Y-wing, because that would be a huge ability at range 3.
That would be huge, but I don't think balance-wise that's going to help the Imperials very much. I think that's kind of why the Y-wing still survives. Survives is a relative term.
All right, so what other goodies do we have?
There is a couple of bombs that come along, but I don't think those are new. But we do have a card there. We've got seismic charges.
And that came with the fire spray, right?
I believe so. I think proton bomb is new, which is kind of a beefed up version.
What'd she do?
Reading upside down, I think the only difference is that when you reveal your maneuver dial, you can drop the proton bomb. And when it detonates, instead of getting just a damage like the seismic charge does, I believe this causes crits. So it's an instant through the shield crit to whatever's there. Actually, let's go bullet the bomb token and find out here.
Oh,
right.
That would help.
Yeah. So when this bomb token detonates, do 1 face-up damage card to each ship. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not an attack. That's just deal a face-up damage card, which means this does not disable stealth device.
Well, that's a crit delivery, so the big ships is where that's going to hurt the most. Because when you have that high hit point value and you have to deal with a...
And you're getting through all the shields.
Yes. So Millennium Falcon players will probably loathe that.
That sounds like an old trumpet being played now.
Well, I don't know of any other big high point ships on their side, but...
That's fair. And then assault missiles are hardly new. I think those first came out with the advanced.
I think it was the A-Wing, wasn't it?
Either or.
Okay. And then Adrenaline Rush also came in that pack, I think.
Okay, so not a whole lot of new things, but certainly a huge delivery platform. Like all of these guys, even down to the basic, can carry 2 torpedoes, 2 different missiles, and 1 charge of some kind. So they out Y-wing the Y-wing with sheer flexibility of different ordnance. Now, on the other hand, you're stacking maybe 40 points or 50 points on these guys if you're going to deck them all out like it's Christmas time.
I can see using these as kamikaze, single use, deliver the weapon, because that means you're going to put advanced torpedoes on a little one like this. That's only 22 points. And that could give you a huge alpha strike, especially when you're trying to deal with a large ship.
That's fair. What do the maneuver dials look like for these guys?
Maneuver dial doesn't look that interesting, except for I have a 5K turn, and that 5K turn I could see being a very interesting way to deliver a weapon again.
Well, that's interesting.
Because that's longer than anything else I know of that does a K turn, right?
A-Wing can do it, Interceptor can do it, X-Wing cannot.
Okay.
Y-Wing certainly can't. I think a TIE Fighter can do it.
Exciting. I'll have to double check on that, but it seems like a big distance, so you can actually potentially lock on a target, maybe take that U-turn and deliver then. And that'll probably give you a better chance of getting in that firing arc.
I think this is the first time I've seen it unbalanced where you can't do, like, where he doesn't have a straightforward movement in the same bracket as a K-turn option.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of one either, but...
That's pretty interesting. So overall, this guy is pretty much designed around whatever upgrades you give him. Being vanilla is not going to be in their best advantage.
What I do want to see, especially coming with the large ships that they just started talking about when we start getting to the transports and the Corellian corvettes, is that this might be the thing that brings those down reliably. So when we start having big, heavy ships on the rebel side, this will be what brings them down.
Yeah, for the epic X-Wing.
Yes.
Cool. All right, this has been our TIE Bomber unboxing video. Thanks for watching, and please check out all the other videos on this channel because we've got all the other ships coming up.
And I think the subscribe button's in the corner down there if you want to press the magic button and see where we're all coming from. Thanks for watching.
Toodles.